Hello, this is Daisy X Machina, the drag queen detective who investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror, where I'm getting into drag to hopefully film a video later today. And as usual, how is everyone's reading going? And we have Lynette and Frank. Thank you both for joining. My reading, I'm just doing middle grade right now because I started that series last week, the Wildermore Book One by Amanda Foody. Loved it, thought it was great. So I just am going to read the whole series. I read the second book, which wasn't as good as the first book, mostly because there's too many characters. It's like the premise of the story is there's a world with magic creatures and you can bond with the creature. And you learn through a master apprentice. So there's one master with 3 apprentices, another master with 3 apprentices, and then another master with 1 apprentice. And they all have different animals. And there was just too many characters to keep track of. But I went ahead and got this third book, which is what I'm reading now. Hey, Lori, thank you for joining us. And yeah, let's get into a look. I think about doing a sunset look. But I was thinking of like purple on the outside, then orange or red, orange, yellow on the inside. So we'll try that. And I'm going to find a palette. Hey, Lori, thank you for however long you can be here. Thank you. And Cappuccino is here. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to do that trick where I start with blue and then put purple over it. You finish The Great Martian War Invasion by Scott Washburn, which is set 1907, the turn of last century. Okay, so I'm going to after I finish this middle grade book, I think I want to read The 3-Body Problem. That's sort of my next. Okay, this brush is not working. Because I do want to see the Netflix show. I kind of want to read the book first. Okay, I'm just going to outline. Probably should have used a card. Oh well. Yeah, I've just been meaning to read 3-Body Problem for so long, and I don't know why I've been putting it off. But maybe now's the time. I actually didn't have anything to film today. So I have Shove It or Shove It done for February, but I thought I'd just go ahead and do Shelve It or Shove It for March just to have it done. And I was like actually thinking, well, I don't really need to film a video. I could just put on drag makeup and then wash it off after the live stream. But I don't know. It just is that weird? Would that be weird to do? But I'll do a shoulder shove it today. It gives both the human and Martian POV. I like that. It is first book in a series. I'll read the second book next month. Yes, read Three Body Problem. It will kill you, Daisy, if you read it. Well, maybe I shouldn't read it. Why do you say that, Frank? Just saw a talk on the Royal Institute's YouTube about the ethics of space colonization. Said a handful of years after the invasion. Oh, I like that. Recounted by H.G. Wells. So it's like a continuation or inspiration from the extrapolating the War of the Worlds. First book is really all set up. The character work is not so good, but the plot and the ideas explode in the next books. Gave up on Three Body Problem. Now reading The Automaton by Ian Young, kind of an indie sci-fi novel. Don't know what to think of it. Yeah, sometimes you can't trust reviews. Ethics of space colonization. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm assuming not sentient life on planets, that type of ethics, but I don't know. I don't know what that means. I have to look at that video. Dress codes today, which is about fashion laws throughout history. So tell us a weird fashion law. Super depressing stuff about Chinese Cultural Revolution. Well, I kind of am more plot driven than character driven in my preferences. So I don't know. I don't really like the fact if it's just a setup for the next two books. But who knows? Like that Anne Leckie book, Ancillary Justice, was that it? That one, it wasn't the whole book, but the first half of the first book was really kind of blah to me. And then I started picking up on the second half, and the rest of the trilogy was fantastic. But I don't know. I'll give it a try. I think the only series that really got me was the Malazan by something Erickson. because I got really far into that series, like book 6 or 7. I mean, I got pretty far into it, and then I gave up on it because it just got so dense. And I mean, every book seemed to get harder and harder to read, and finally, I'm just torturing myself trying to finish this series. But the first book is so good. If you just want to get a taste of that, the Malazan Empire, the first Gardens of the Moon. The first couple books are really good. Okay, what I'm going to do. Okay, I don't know if this is going to work because I want it to go really dark. But I'm going to put red on the inside here. A darker red. And then maybe put orange over it. Oops. Oh, I should have started the red way down here. Oh, well. Yeah, I should have started with the red. Okay, the only way I'm going to deepen that is with a little touch of black. Cool Gamer's here. Hey, Gamer. Thanks for coming. I'm using voice text to, sorry, I'm using voice to text. Oh, you know, I've been trying to do that voice to text on like messages, and I sent my friend this message. I was trying to talk into to get the IM, and then I said something to Dennis, and then I hit send, and I didn't realize my whole conversation with Dennis was like in the text message. Carpal tunnels, no arthritis. That sucks. Read an article about how horrible it would be for all these rich people who think they can escape to space when the world is shit. It will not be pleasant for them. The second book, Dark Forest, reads like a sci-fi thriller, much more of a page turner. Yay, Lynette's going to spin. DK Moon, hey. Found Malazan a lot of work to read, decreased my enjoyment of this series. Yeah, I gave up. I think there was something about hounds or tolling in the title. There was a movie about that a few years ago. The Purple Cloud, very vintage sci-fi. Who's the author? The article mentioned that the astronaut who spent a year in space retired when he returned to Earth because he found the whole year so stressful. Okay. Add. Okay, so more proof I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, so, gosh, you don't even see that. Oh. Toll of the Hounds was my least favorite. Last one quarter was good, but really disliked the 3/4 of that book. Yeah, I could not push myself through. What are we talking about? Oh, the astronaut in space. They still ride the hounds in the UK, or have they banished it? Oh, they couldn't have banned it. That's like such a cultural thing. Purple Clouds was written in 1901. What? Oh, fox hunting is banned. But they still have hounds, right? Maybe just for like pheasant hunting or whatever. Right, a classic SF with cloud in the title. Okay. I feel like I'm all over the place with this makeup. Okay. There's an interesting discussion on Bookish Realm, Ashley from Bookish Realm. Well, it wasn't that interesting. But whether or not playgrounds should be in libraries, because some people think, wouldn't it be nice if there were playgrounds in libraries for kids to go? And Ashley was saying, no because it would fall on the librarians to be responsible for it, who would pay for it, who would be liable for it, and all that. But what I thought was interesting is because it made me think about how different, at least in the US, the culture is in terms of letting kids run around and play. Because when I grew up, and admittedly this was like, I guess the 70s, um, I remember going to the library by myself, going to playgrounds, going to the pharmacy because they had this display of charm pops. I really love those charm pops. At the hardware store, the school playground when the school was closed. I just remember running around all over the place um, when I was like elementary school age, which is what, 8 to 10, 9, 10. But the culture is so different now that kids are so, it seems to me, so overprotected. And I don't have kids, so I don't have a leg in this race. But the conversation about helicopter parents versus free range parents. And helicopter parents being the ones that are really overprotective. And free range being parents that remember being kids in the well, it's what it sounds like. Kids that were allowed to go over wherever they wanted. And raise their own children that way. But you have to be careful about that in America because there are laws about leaving children unattended who are, I don't know, below 10 or under, 12 or under or something. Most of our public libraries in the city are adjacent to rec centers and playgrounds. Maybe not playgrounds and libraries, but maybe small libraries and playgrounds. Or how about free libraries in, or not, the little libraries in playgrounds? They're called snowflakes when they go to college. One of my local libraries is next to a park or playground. I have 2 libraries close to me. The little brother of a boy in my class was killed by a car while he was free ranging. He was only 8. Yipes, that's so sad. When I was a little kid, we spent most of the day outside playing in the mud. Yeah, I remember. I definitely remember playing outside. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should cut the crease or just, I should cut the crease. The actual statistics are that it's actually no more dangerous now than it was back then in terms of like, I mean, the parents' worst nightmare is child abductions. But the rate of incidence is no greater now than it was back then. But It's just much more prevalent in the consciousness now because of how it's been so widely reported. Oh, shoot, I should have done black. Okay, let me try to do this really quick. But yeah, there's a lot of articles and philosophies on free range versus helicopter parenting. Okay. Grew up in a literal forest, lots of room to run and play. The idiot media is scaring people. The last time we had children killed by a stranger abductor down here was in the late 70s. Wow. That's a long time ago. Missing white woman syndrome. Yeah. Yes, there is. Okay. I mean, I was one of those kids growing up who loved television so much that I would be forced to go outside and play. Which I guess is a totally different concept to what people are used to now. Okay, I'm going to. Should have started with this. Yeah, some jurisdictions don't even like kids to walk to school by themselves. And I remember doing that all through elementary school. And I hated it. I would I would have loved to have a bus or someone to drive me to school. Because I don't know, it's like maybe a mile and a half to walk to school. But I was a lazy kid. Okay. Yeah, thinking back, I think my parents, if the laws were in place today, as they were back when I was growing up, they would have it would have been child abuse. Thinking about it, because I was left alone a lot and I was like 7 or 8 years old. Because my mother was working and my father worked swing shifts and funny story about a mom that was reported to the police for letting her 2 kids walk around the city on their own. Yep. Oh, I don't want to talk about that, Frank. We walked to school in a big group when I was really young. My cousins, my sisters, me, and another girl who lived on our street. We would ask policemen to cross. See, I didn't even have that. I was totally alone. I mean, it was a very residential, small town neighborhood, but in Japan, little children are given free rein to catch buses and trains. Oh, Lori, okay, thank you for joining us. Yes, have a great weekend, Lori. Okay, I need to go grab some loose powders. Dun, dun. Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay, we'll start with yellow first. Go to orange. Okay, so that is the sunset look. Just finished your weight loss diet and gone onto a maintenance diet. I'm down to 60.5 kilograms. Congratulations. I am so American, I'm not sure what that is. What that, because I always think in pounds. But 133 pounds. Okay, there we go. Thank you. You were 178. Congratulations, Lynette. That is such an accomplishment. We're all very proud of you. Um, I was thinking. Thinking about putting a little extra glitter on top. That's cool. Okay, I found it. Just want to put it in the center. Question is, I don't know if you can even see the glitter, but I do. Okay. Next week, clothes buying spree. Yeah, my friend, hold on. Yeah, my best friend Sean, who recently visited, has lost a lot of weight and really needs to go clothes shopping, at least to buy pants that aren't so saggy. I don't like buying clothes. I absolutely hate buying new shoes. In Dress Crows, I read that Danielle Steele owns 6,000 pairs of Louis Vuitton shoes. That's like Imelda Marcos level. Okay, I'm going to move on to black. You know what I thought was interesting? I never thought about it. But designer handbags actually go up in value. It's actually an investment. I don't think shoes are an investment, though. I can't imagine unless you don't wear them. Actually, that's not true. There's this whole market. I don't know if it's worldwide or just in the United States for designer sneakers that people like invest in them like a commodity. which kind of reminds me of that Beanie Baby phase. Which thankfully I never got into Beanie Babies, but it was just such a weird phenomenon of people using them like they were a commodity. And people do that with comic books too. And I think it was during the 80s, it got a little bit out of hand because the publisher will print as many copies as people are willing to buy. And they definitely go up in value when they're rare. But I think there's a period in the 80s where there were just so many collectors and they just started printing so many copies of comic books that they were no longer really going up in value because people were holding on to them and keeping them, like lots of copies in very good condition. Because I know a guy who collected comic books that wasn't even into comic books. He just thought they were a good investment, and he had like boxes and boxes of comic books and plastic wrappers. And I'm no longer in touch with that guy, but he was doing it, he said, to pay for his daughter's education. So I wonder how that turned out for him. Okay. They wouldn't let girls wear pantsuits. My mom likes those Louis Vuitton handbags, costly as hell. I know they're thousands of dollars, but they go up in value. So it's actually an investment for those collectors of couture handbags. There are sneaker collectors on YouTube, so boring. Cabbage Patch Kids, yeah. The strangest thing I collect was Knitting Nancy's spool knitters. Yeah, some first edition comics are worth millions in good condition, but that's because there's so few of them out there. Actually, millions of dollars, really? Maybe like the first Superman or something. I need another brush. Nothing I collect goes up in value. I have lots of comics, but nothing super high value. Yeah, I never actively collected, but I have two big plastic canisters full of comics that are in they're plastic baggies, the little collector baggies, and most of them are in pretty good shape. And a lot of them are first edition Sandmans. So I wouldn't be surprised if I have, say, some comics in the, I don't know, like $30, $40 range. Which adds up if you have like 10 of those comics. Okay, I'm going to But yeah, other than that, I don't really have collectibles. My father was he collected like, I think it was from the, I don't know his name of his generation, Silent Generation or whatever, that where stamp collecting and coin collecting were more popular because he did both. And I don't know anyone my age or younger that really does stamp or coin collecting anymore. Okay, I think I'm done with the eyes. I'm gonna deepen the blush a little. With some orange. And I got some highlighter, and once again, I don't know if you can even see it, but okay. I don't collect stuff. In fact, I enjoy throwing stuff out. I'm not a hoarder. I mean, I don't have like stacks of magazines and whatnot, but I do have a lot of stuff. I wish I would throw out more stuff, both me and Dennis. When I was a child, I collected Kohl's swap cards, which were sold at a local department store. I sold them individually in 2010 and got about $2,000. Sold one card for 65. That is amazing. And I don't even know what those are. And I'm with you, DK. As I've got older, I prefer to clear space. I just am, again, lazy and know I should do it. And I don't have any problem throwing things out that I no longer use or whatnot. I just need the motivation. Cleaned out the garage and decrypted the rest of the house. It did wonders for my mental health. Oh, thank you, Cap. Have a gold week, everybody, and happy reading. Thank you, Cappuccino, and thank you for being here or for joining us for as long as you did. Okay, I think I'm about done. I'm just going to do my lips and that in the eyelashes, and that's it. Okay, I'm going to try this. You know what I used to collect were Slurpee cups. 7-Eleven Slurpee cups, because they had these Slurpee cups with Marvel superheroes on them in like hard plastic. I'm sure they're terrible for landfills, but I would try to collect them because I thought they were so cool. Again, this was back in the 70s. Okay. Lips may be a little bit large today. I've gotten rid of about 100 books in the last few months. Getting rid of books is so hard. Yeah, I know. Craft supplies are also hard to part with. Throw out or give away a lot of books I paid for without reading much of them. Need a keyboard. Most of the books I haven't read were picked up secondhand, so not worth much money, or not much money wasted. Yeah, I'm the dummy that keeps buying new books because, well, the ebooks now, but because I thought it was like helping the authors out. Well, it is helping the authors out. And I liked shopping in new bookstores. Yeah, let's put a little white in the center. Okay. Eyelashes and wig, and we are done. You're so frugal, Lynette. Well, also, Lynette reads a lot of books, so it gets a lot more expensive to buy them. Buy some of my clothes secondhand. I love charity shops. Okay. Yeah, I get rid of books when I move, and I used to move a lot, so I have very few books, probably no books from when I was like, I don't know, in my 20s or whatever. I have nothing from my childhood because I had old comics back then, but happens when you get estranged from your parents and you just don't have contact for 20 years. They tend to sell all your stuff, which is fine. I mean, why would they keep? Old toys and comic books and that type of thing. Okay. Eyelash? No eyelash. Yeah, the only thing I regret my father selling was my mother, my Japanese mother, who died when I was, very young, um, had these in glass cases. I don't know I forget what you call them, but these little dolls or figurines that were very intricate and apparently every member of my family got one. I guess when they were born or something, because on my Japanese side, they all have these cases with dolls inside. And my mother had one for her, which was this, Japanese elegant lady with a fan, and one for me of this samurai. But those were sold, so kind of regret that one. But the other thing I had were really old Peanuts comics or books, of their comic strips, but they're really, really old, like from the 40s, or not 40s, but from like the 50s, with his old comic strips that a teacher gave me because she knew I was like really into the Peanuts comics. And I mean, they were vintage when I got them in the 70s. But I was thinking about them when Charles Schultz passed away. It's like, boy, I bet those are worth something now. What are you filming today? Yeah, I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to film Shelve It or Shove It for March because I already have February done, and I don't have anything else planned for today. This week, I will release my 6 book reviews of the 6 Shelve It or Shove It books I read for the second half of the year. And I really need to plan something for next week. And I'm thinking about another author. Oh, excuse me. 10 facts about authors of. I'm thinking about doing Octavia Butler, but I need to like plan for that. Never been a clothes horse, but need some new shirts. Problem is my top size is 2 sizes larger than my pant size. You're top heavy, so I don't buy pantsuits and dresses. So you buy separates. That is fine. At least he didn't trash them. Yeah, he definitely sold them. When he was 6, my elder son cut my childhood teddy bear into pieces because he wouldn't let him play with it. Aw. Only book for my dad I have left is by Washington Irving. The other thing that's probably worth money is, or was worth money, or and was my grandfather, my father's father, did handmade jigsaw puzzles, which were really, really intricate. I mean, it was like master craftsman puzzle making. But apparently, my father sold all those, and he got a good price for them. But it kind of pissed off my uncle, thinking that they shouldn't have sold his or their father's legacy, I guess, because he would only make them for the family. It wasn't like, boy, they were intense. must have been really meditative to do that because each piece was so unique, and he must have sat at his jigsaw for, you know, I don't know how many hours just making like each little cut. The joke in the family was, of course, he did it so he didn't have to listen to his wife, who was a talker, my grandmother. Okay, so I grabbed an orange wig because I knew I was doing a sunset look. And just got some basic jewelry. Family dramas, yes. I inherited a really tacky waltzing Matilda musical jug from my mom. The music box still works. Cost your mom £1 in 1951, which was quite pricey. Despite it being tasteless, I love this little jug. Well, that's great. Okay. And for the wig, I really do like this wig a lot, but I always think of Ronald McDonald when I see the colors. Let me pull the image down. Oops. Goes well with the blouse. Thank you. Yeah, it's not, this isn't really a blouse. It's just a scarf top, but it's a lot like an apricot color. Okay, this is the final look. We have the purple on the outside, the purple, and then the red and the orange going in to yellow, and that's it. That's the look for today. How many wigs do you have? Let me count them. No, I have two downstairs. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh my God, you guys, I have 25 wigs. Is that true? I have a wig problem. If only those went up in value. Maybe they do. I don't know. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm going to film way ahead of time, Shelve It or Shove It for March. This week I'll release the 6 book reviews, and then the following week, Shelve It or Shove It for February. And Oh, I like this look actually. I like the eye makeup. Okay, so hope to see you again next week. Thank you so much for being here this week. And as usual, may all the books you read be blessed.